Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of TPN Talks with Leticia. I'm very excited. We have a special edition of TPN Talks. I'm joined by our organizational support team, which is one of our new functional teams here at TPN. So I'm going to get kicked off by just asking the team to introduce themselves and maybe share a little bit about who you are, your role, and anything else that you want to add. So Jenny, why don't you get us kicked off?
My name is Jenny Beck, and I'm the Director of Finance. My pronouns are she, her, and outside of work, I like to spend time with my partner and my dog.
My name is Crystal May Statler, and I'm the Director of Operations, and I use she, her pronouns. And a fun fact about me is that I'm a poet.
My name is Lainey Watson. I use she, her pronouns. I am the Director of People and Culture and Organizational Support Department lead. And outside of work, I spend most of my time outside, hiking, paddleboarding, doing whatever.
Very cool. I love hearing special facts about you all. I said this is an important and special edition because we're highlighting these incredible leaders in our organization, but also highlighting a new thing that we're doing in the agency to help us reach our goals. So I'm going to start with a question about the role of the organizational support team and how you work together. So let's start there.
So the OST's role is to build and strengthen the agency's foundation through maximizing the efficiency, alignment, and collaboration between finance, operations, and people and culture. These three departments really regularly work alongside each other in a lot of the processes that we all work on. So the role of the OST is to ensure that there's collaboration and systems integration between them. So the three of us work together through regular meeting spaces and in collaboration where we're reviewing our strategic and path forward goals, providing feedback and input to projects that each of us are individually working on, collaborating on new ideas to support the agency, and trying to create more accessibility and transparency throughout the process. And this is all done with the goal of providing the most support to the entire agency and staff to ensure we can continue carrying out our mission.
Thanks, Lainey. That's such a great explanation and such a beautiful balance of like honoring people and the importance of our mission, but also honoring process so that we can be efficient and use all of our resources to those most important part of our work. So very, very happy that you shared that with all of us. All right, so my next question for you all is, what are some of the things that you're working on as a team and maybe which initiatives you might be most excited that you're working on?
So as a team, we've been working on the OST charter, authority and account matrices, feedback on the professional development and pay advance policies, tracking our collective goals as they align with Path Forward 2026, and a few transitions amongst the team. For example, the motor vehicle authorizations and certificate of insurance processes that just recently transferred to operations. And some initiatives that we're really excited to roll out in the next year or so is the new hire newsletter, the all OST gathering, quarterly gatherings, where we'll bring everyone from our three teams together to connect and collaborate, as well as our focus on improving the onboarding and internal transition processes, and developing and implementing the agency-wide emergency action plans, as well as Trainual, which will serve as the agency's hub for all of our handbooks and manuals.
Very cool. Thank you for explaining that. I want to lift up a piece that stuck out to me, which is you all in leading your departments are leading OST, but there's going to be many other members, it sounds like, of OST from your departments and the teams that make up your departments. So there will be, a bunch of hands and hearts that are going to be, it sounds like, working on those projects. So I think that's cool for everyone to know. All right. Well, one of my personal favorite questions that I like to ask to our team members is around our mission. And you all know that our mission is to provide tools and support to justice system impacted individuals and families so that they can be safe and thrive in our communities. So how do you see OST supporting that mission?
OST's objective is to holistically support all departments, including functional teams within the agency, so that we can effectively carry out our organization's mission. We align the resources between departments to increase our impact and conserve our resources. Our collaboration centers those who are most impacted by honoring their stories and truths and sustaining a culture of safety, equity, and access in our processes. In addition to these objectives, we are working towards the completion of our agency strategic and Path Forward 2026 goals.
I love that you all are, just putting front and center that this work is also about centering people who are most impacted, and that processes and, administrative and operational work is also about creating safety for the people who work here at TPN, our community, and, obviously the participants that we work with. So you're doing this really important work in such a human-centered, mission-driven way, which is so exciting. One thing that I would maybe add, that you all are a first functional team, so you're kind of setting the pace and setting the example for what it looks like. And Jenny, you spoke to the fact that you'll be supporting the other functional teams as well, which are made up of our executive support team, which supports the whole organization and making sure that our mission and Path Forward 2026 is moving forward and that we're accomplishing our goals. And then our programming support team, which is really about making sure that our direct services and programs in Oregon and across the country are successful and impactful. So you all are kind of setting the standard and creating the way forward for those teams, but we'll be collaborating with them as well. So let's see. Well, do you have any questions for me? I have had a chance to ask you a few questions or anything that you wanna ask me.
What are you most excited about for the future of the OST?
Yeah, that's such a good question. I'm ecstatic about the opportunity to really increase collaboration across the agency from your work, both like intentional, planned collaboration, but just kind of natural, authentic, in the moment collaboration. I think it's going to feed and nurture the agency in really powerful ways. I think creating efficiency impacts everyone in the agency. So when processes are easier to understand, when they're thoughtful, when they're human-centered, we get to focus our energy on the most important parts of our jobs, and we get to take care of each other along the way. So that's another thing I'm really excited about. And then just integration. I think sometimes, agencies that have a big mission and a lot of work to do can work kind of in silos, and kind of like playing next to each other, but not playing with each other. So I think you all, because you have so much that you accomplish in your individual departments, can really set the example for what it looks like is to hold all of those scopes of works in your departments, but to bring them together as well in a way that supports people, supports processes, and I think, creates more capacity for us to have more impact and do it in a way that's more in line with our values. So I could probably go on for a really long time, but I think those are the things that stick out to me. It's you all are kind of powering us to be able to do the work in every facet of the organization, providing a really strong backbone, helping us stay up so that we can run forward. So just really supporting and nurturing and, leading the way while you're doing it is something that is just really exciting to me. Thank you for asking. All right. Well, I want to thank you all for joining today to talk a little bit about, where OST is at today and where it's going to be going. And I'm very excited to hear more from your team, and more about what the functional teams will be at TPN and how they will work moving forward. So lots more to come. I want to thank you all for this conversation and for joining me on another episode of TPN Talks with Leticia. So take care, everyone, and we'll see you next time.